If you feel like you're putting a ton of effort into your drives and it feels like you're getting absolutely nowhere, this is the tip for you. And the best thing is, it is incredibly simple, doesn't take a huge amount of thought. It might feel different, really different to a lot of you, but as I always say to people, feel and real are two very, very different things. So even though it feels different to you, and as long as you get the results, we'll soon get over that real indifferent feeling that we're getting, and our brain will say, actually, it still feels weird, but if we're getting the results, then it takes very, very little time to get over that weird feeling, and we start seeing results, and it's happy days. We start enjoying the game of golf yet again. First of all, before we get into it, get to hit that link below to my website to get onto the waiting list for lessons with myself here at Whittlebury Park Golf Club. Now, here's the thing. A lot of you, as I say, put tons of effort in, but don't get a huge amount out of the big stick, the driver, the chief of the pack. So why don't you? Because a lot of you tend to hit down. Now, don't switch off just yet, because this is not a video about trying to hit up on the ball, okay? This is a very simple way to make sure that, if anything, we're sort of on a level playing field. We're not trying to hit massively, massively up. So I don't want any of you to go straight away after 2 minutes of this video trying to hit more up on that golf ball, because that ain't going to work, okay? So I've still seen a lot of high swing speed golfers hit slightly down. And indeed, the new PGA Tour averages out there are saying, on average, the elite players are hitting down by 2 degrees. The big issue there is they're swinging on average about 112 miles an hour, whereas most of you amateur golfers out there swinging driver about mid-80s, low 90s, something around there. Some of you lucky devils are above 100 miles an hour, but most of the average golfers are anywhere between sort of about 85, 90 miles an hour, around that sort of figure there. But you need to get the most out of your drives. So what do we need to do to be able to do that? So what I want you to do, it's a really, really simple little thing we can do just to begin with. Now, a lot of you sort of might hit loads of irons on the driving range. So you might set up with that sternum in line with that golf ball. Okay, you might be setting up with that sternum very much in line with that golf ball. What I want you to do is put that ball a little bit more forward in the stance, just inside your left foot. But here's the big trick. What I want you to do, I want you to push your left pocket towards the target, but pushing towards the camera just in front of you there. So you feel like your hips are pushing out and to the right of target. And you'll notice what happens there. Our shoulders then suddenly become a little bit more tilted and closed off. In other words, pointing out to the right. Now, why is this a good thing? Well, what's actually happened here, we've given ourselves, with that pushing of that hip, launch pad shoulders. Okay, so in other words, your right shoulder is a lot lower than your left. Compared to how you might have started, you started fairly almost flat to the ground. We need what I call those launch pad shoulders to launch that ball up in the air and attack it more from the inside as opposed to the outside of the ball. So just by feeling you starting off, let's say you start off with that sternum level with your golf ball there, you're pushing that left hip out, and as a result, you've got those beautiful launch pad shoulders with which you can, again, launch that golf ball up in the air, attacking it from the angle that it needs to be. And hey presto, for the same amount of effort that you're putting in, might be a lot of effort before, you're going to get 10, 20, 30 yards out. It's going to vary, depends on sort of the golfer and how fast you're swinging, where you're striking, etc. But on average, you will gain at least 10 yards. Some I've seen, I've done this before. I did this with some guy the other day. You gain 50 yards, 50 whole yards. Technically 5 clubs different. He was hitting it 50 yards further just by introducing no more effort. Absolutely no more effort at all, but he just did this little trick where he pushed his left hip in front, got those launch pad shoulders and attacked it from a much better angle, therefore giving himself a better launch. Try it. It's not going to be for everyone, don't get me wrong, but please just give it a go. Try it. Might feel weird to some of you, but just check out the results. And I guarantee those results will happen within about 3 or 4 golf shots. Just try it. Let me know how you get on.